Okay, so there's a theme here, as there usually is when I do these camera comparisons. I will say that, first of all, both of these offer excellent results. The G7 with a darker, more contrasty shot, while the Pixel 4 pushes out the shadows so you can see a bit more. Check out how much darker the shadows are here on the G7 and how much redder these, what are these, tree pots? I guess, whatever you want to call them are. The G7 blows out the sky in the back though, compared to the Pixel 4, and at 100% crop, the detail is pretty similar, but I will give the edge to the Pixel 4 because it's less muddled with a bit more clarity. Anyway, the trees though that sit in the foreground, they did come out better on the G7 considering what I think would be the focus here, so it's really not a bad shot overall. In this next set, you'll see again the difference in color temperature. The G7 a little warmer, redder even. Both look pretty similar however, and at 100% crop, again the Pixel 4 is a bit more detailed, with it looks like a hint of sharpening on the G7. Regardless, both came out pretty nice and are perfectly usable for social media. It's hard to not have your eyes focus on how much punchier the colors are coming out on the G7. The Pixel 4 is the more natural looking one, so with photo quality on par with each other, it's really your call on which you prefer. Facing the sun, you'll see if the G7 had a chance to really get that light through these trees, it would have blown out a huge portion of this shot. However, there's a bit of lens flare that the Pixel 4 is casting, as well as a light haze here and there. The G7 might be a tad underexposed for some, but I don't really mind it at all that much. Again, notice how the G7 really punches up its colors compared to the Pixel 4. For me, it literally draws my attention. What about you? Again, there's a tad of lens flare here on the Pixel 4, but it's nothing crazy, and at 100% crop, both provide good detail. Take a look at how much deeper the G7 displays colors here, but also look at how jagged these lines start to get over here. The Pixel 4 has a much smoother, cleaner result. In this last set of day shots, the G7 has much brighter highlights, but also starts to wash out my face. To be fair, this was in direct sunlight, but the Pixel 4 tones that down to keep a better skin color. As we move into night, the Pixel 4 will almost always provide less background noise, less overexposure on artificial lighting, and a lot of that is with its help from night sight. Take a look at how much more yellow the sign stays and how it keeps that fluorescent light exposed properly. Again, less background noise on the Pixel 4, the white balance changes a bit to a cooler tone, but it also affects how less natural the white on this car is compared to the G7. Overall though, the subject is of this art piece here, and the Pixel 4 comes off with the more appealing shot. That's not to say the G7 is bad by any means, especially for a $180 phone, it's quite capable. So here we have more of the same, both came out decent, better exposure on the Pixel 4, but both are still blowing these lights out, which got me to thinking, if you take a look at these night shots, again the neon sign is overexposed on both, and that's to compensate for seeing everything in the shot, especially the greenery on the left here. So I retook these shots, but I particularly focused on the sign. Much better on both. Still, the haze on the Pixel 4 over on the right here really bothers me, and is something I was hoping that would have been eliminated by doing that. But at 100% crop, again, take a look at how well the Pixel 4 handles this sign. Compared to the G7, it is much better on the Pixel 4 by far. For future reference, I plan to start remaking all of my night shot videos with focus that's left on auto. That's normally how I shoot, and then I want to shoot it again with a subject in mind. So actually focusing on a subject. I think that'll be a much better way to see how well these photos will process what we want as the main subject. Moving on, so in this next shot, again, both came out really nice. The Pixel 4 has that edge in clarity and less background noise, but the G7 can hold its own. In much darker lighting situations, you can see how Pixel 4's night sight makes it the preferred shot. And in this last shot, night sight just takes over on the Pixel 4. This was a super dark environment, and the Pixel 4 just handled it beautifully. I mean, really, the best way I can put it is the results speak for itself. I've said it before when I tested the Moto G7 against the iPhone 11 Pro, but when it comes to photo quality, the Moto G7 is a capable shooter, and this is no exception when it's up against the Pixel 4. It's not the best camera phone out there, but if you're on a limited budget, say your budget is less than 200 bucks and you can find the right lighting scenario, or as long as you're taking shots with good lighting overall, then the Moto G7 is a great camera phone for that price sector. Before I go, I'd like to thank Adrian for being my newest patron on Patreon. Adrian, thank you so much for your support. If you guys enjoyed this video, even if you didn't enjoy this video, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Your support helps me make these daily videos. It helps me continue making camera comparisons just like these. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out, or you can just go to patreon.com/Jerome Ortega. Finally, check me out on Instagram at PhoneJerome and on Twitter at PhoneJerome, and that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one.